Ahoy hoy, I'm Captain Boomies, and I have spent my entire life at sea obsessing about yachts. Join me as I take an up-close and personal look at some incredible vessels, revealing what it takes to craft some of the most jaw-dropping yachts on the planet, and more importantly, how folks enjoy them. Whether you're reeling in a big one, plunging into the sea, or just throwing one heck of a party, there's a million ways to soak up the fun. Let's dive into the yacht life.
So I'm Claudio Gambin. This is the 53 Suenos, and we are in sunny New Smyrna Beach, Florida. I grew up in Brazil, so I moved here when I was 7 years old, and in Brazil, my dad was absolutely obsessed with boats, and we would go sailing all the time. We would be out on the water all the time. We had a little house on an island off of the coast of Brazil, so I grew up on the water. I've always dreamed of having beautiful boats, and even through college, I worked at a boat dealership changing oils on wakeboard boats. And the first opportunity I had to get something that was this ocean-worthy, I did, and been upgrading ever since. Life here in Florida is absolutely perfect. We have summer 11 months out of the year, and then a couple of weeks of winter, so we get to enjoy the boat pretty much year-round. And kind of this platform of the boat is really what fits our lifestyle, where we can enjoy time with family, we can fish, we can sandbar, we can booze cruise. So, you know, for us, I work in between times on the boat. So that's really what my main goal in life is right now. So I'm an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. I love being a business owner and have multiple different businesses in kind of different categories. You know, being a business owner, I joke that we never really go on vacation. I just happen to go do business in different locations. I'm always attached to my phone. The only time I'm not is when I'm offshore, because they just can't get a hold of me. So no matter how hard I try, I'm offline. So we created Live Life Offline. And Live Life Offline is not just about going fishing, it's just being outside and disconnecting from your business life to connect with your relationships and your personal life. I'm all about making memories. And if you are distracted by your phone and you're always on business calls or this or that, then you're not gonna make those memories. So we created Offline Brands. It represents being disconnected, it represents enjoying your family and friends and making memories. So it's not that yachting fits into my life. Yachting kind of is my life. I look for every opportunity to do whatever I can on the boat. If I have to pinpoint my #1 goal in life, it's creating amazing experiences and memories for the people that I love. And I don't think there's a better platform to do that than a yacht like this.
We are in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and I am already obsessed with that paint job over there. This is Claudio's 53 Suenos, and it's his 3rd HCB yacht, but it's his most customized. I cannot wait to go check out this yacht.
This is such a cool experience. My kids are gonna join, my wife is gonna join. My daughter has been asking about oh, this is gonna be so much fun, we're gonna be on TV. But I'm really excited to meet Captain Boomies. I've heard nothing but amazing things. I'm excited to kind of show her the boat. I know she's been in a few HCBs, but I think she's gonna like this one the best.
Claudio, so nice to meet you.
This is awesome. Thank you for being here.
Is gorgeous. I'm obsessed already. And I love that I see your logo everywhere. Check this out. We are officially offline.
So my wife is the actual one that came up with the name. She's the one that said, hey, what if we call it offline? You know, you're always on your phone, but you love being on the boat because you don't use your phone. I was like, you know what? That's a silly idea. And then it kind of stuck, so we ran with it.
I know you love to cook. Talk to me about this galley.
This is the really cool and unique part of HCB, specifically in their platform. And you really can't get this anywhere else, right? Because you've got a really cool couch over here, but you also have what they call the summer kitchen. Underneath here, right, if you pull this little mat out, you can pull this up, and there's kind of like a really cool grill. We've been 130 miles offshore, and we have a hot meal. I'm making quesadillas back there, steak quesadillas, like 120 miles offshore on a center console.
I don't think you understand how special that is for me as a captain.
Right underneath here, there's a blender for your pina coladas, right? You can just attach a blender. And we take some trips out early, so we'll leave 2 or 3 in the morning. So we actually built a little Nespresso that goes right there for our little cappuccinos in the morning, right?
Ciao.
You've got a couple of fridges, you've got an ice maker, so you're always just ready. Furthermore, you have just amazing space here, right? So it's not like you're crammed, but you're also not too far away. So like if I'm cooking, I got some grills here, I've got some plates here, I'm plating, I'm cutting, I'm serving, right? It all comes together.
Epic. This feels very happy hour, this feels very entertaining, and then this seems very rugged and ready to go sport fishing.
We could be cooking and a rod could hit, and I can just turn around and just dump my reel and get ready to get the fish, right? But what's also really cool here is the duality here, where this rocket launcher can actually come off, and the pedestal, we made it about 2 inches short. That way I can put a table on top. I've got 4 teak chairs to sit around this table, so I could have 2 on that side, 2 on this side, and this can serve as our buffet. We can order from the restaurant, we put our food here, and we can have our meal here.
Plus the blender making cocktails.
Plus the blender making cocktails.
Perfect.
The actual rocket launcher, kind of in the back there, normally they come at a very specific height for you to be able to kind of have the rods right there. Well, again, because we're a sandbar team, we also have a table that goes right there, so that if we wanted to, we could actually go to any restaurant here and they can serve us at this front table, or they can serve us at the back table without us having to go get a table. Because sometimes around lunchtime it gets really busy, so we don't need to make a reservation.
And you've two-toned these hatches down here, which I love. This locker is a lighter color cream than the rest of this, and I think that's so elegant. I think that's such a fun choice that you made.
It kind of brings it all together, because no matter how hard you try to get the leather to match the gel coat, it's not gonna happen, right? Plus the gel coat's gonna change a little color over time being in the sun. The leather's gonna wear a little bit, so you wanna have some of that contrast so it's just not so bland. I love this color scheme. Like this very like nautical tan, blue, and red scheme is my favorite boat color. So we've taken a few different approaches here. Well, one, obviously when you step the foot on board, you felt the cloud of the sea deck. You've got like that very, very thick sea deck. So this is that 20 centimeter sea deck.
I'm in love. My feet are so happy right now.
How pretty is the teak here? But if you're fishing, you're gonna beat this up. So we actually had some Clear Bra custom film put on top of this. If you hit this with a rod, you're not gonna beat it up. So you can feel it. And then we actually also had the entire back covered in that film, because we've got a big wahoo back here just flopping around. It's gonna destroy my gel coat, right? So keeping this boat pretty and always looking new has been a big priority of ours. Again, we get back into like the double stitching of these pads, right? That sort of stuff is gonna age, but we had everything covered in a ceramic coat. That way when water hits it, it beads right off. And we have little kids, we have big fish, everything is designed to destroy this place, right? So we do everything we can to keep it pretty so we can enjoy it. And then the other really cool thing that I think is super unique to some of these very specific boats is how the seat is designed. You know, most seats don't have this high grade leather and this double diamond stitching that just completely sets the classiness apart, right? You've got a classy color, you've got wood grain, and then you've got the stitching, and just kind of really sets everything off. So this seat was designed for a couple of reasons. I've had the full tender seat on my first HCV. The second one had the big live wells with the pads on the top. So when we were designing this, we think about like everything that I do on this boat. One of our favorite things to do is movie nights. So we actually have a big 65-inch TV that pops in right here. And the kids will sit right here with blankets and pillows. Got popcorn, candy, right?
I could get cozy
And
here.
you just get cozy here, and we're sitting over there, or we're sitting over there enjoying our time, and the kids are loving the movie nights.
That is the kind of dreaming I'm talking about.
Underneath here, you have a live well, which is really, really efficient. But more than that, we have 2 coolers on each side that can be pulled out, and we can put additional live wells. Tuna tubes on one side, live wells on the other, that kind of replace in and out. So we could truly morph this into a tournament fishing boat or a sandbar, watch a movie at night boat. And you really can't do that with anybody else. Like, there's no other boat that you're gonna be able to just morph that.
I keep looking for mistakes that they've made, but I can't find any. I'm so impressed that you thought about making it modular so that you can swap these around. Fantastic idea.
But also, like, let's just say we're bill fishing, right? I have more space back here.
Yes.
I'm not stepping on top of cushions. I'm not, like, I can get into the corner of this boat. He can put me into a turn, and I can actually go get that fish.
And yet, this seat feels bigger than normal.
It's actually a little bit longer than normal. So most seats are gonna finish right here. But if you ever go sit on a restoration hardware couch, how it's a little bit deeper, this is just a little bit deeper.
And these were all choices that you made.
Yes.
Okay, I really am obsessed with the leather. Is this ultra leather?
I'm not sure what it is, but it's awesome. It's very nice. And again, it goes back to the craftsmanship. They're not just gonna throw something on there, they're gonna give you options. The fact that I got to choose the stitching, right? Like, you don't even get to do it with a car. Like, you can go buy a Rolls Royce and you're not gonna get to pick that, right?
It's true.
But we got to pick the stitching, and then we used some pretty unique ceramic coat and some conditioning tools that kind of keep it clean and keep it nice.
This is not Grandpa's vinyl. This is glorious.
It's not. It's not. Favorite feature is the fact that I can operate it by myself. To have everything that it has, and then also be able to operate it alone, is a really, really important feature. Because as much as I love my team and the crew, I also love being able to just get my family, and we go out the inlet and we go to the next inlet over, or we go up to St. Augustine and enjoy the day with the family, like, and still have this level of comfort. That's very unique to this platform.
I know you're a boater because you've made choices that I love, especially this dark overhead. People underestimate how fatiguing it can be to be out in the bright sun all day. And this really cuts down on some of that eye fatigue. Brilliant choice.
Well, think about like when you're wearing a hat, right? And how it creates a shade right in front of your eyes so you have better visibility. If you're here driving this boat, this is like that hat. This is that dark hat that lets you kind of cut the glare. Because if this was bright, it would just add more glare to your eyes.
And it looks gorgeous.
And it's the same color as a whole, right? So that helps with the two-tone. And then you kind of get in here, and this is designed to be really just one really unique zone. You've got speakers kind of in the back, you got under helm speakers here. We replaced all the internal speakers to much higher quality JL speakers. We redid all the amps. And then we actually created very specific zones inside of this. So I can play the kids' movies, listening to the movie back there. My wife and I can sit up here, have dinner or have a drink, and I can have our music playing up here. So we have totally separate zones.
So you've got these two speakers forward of the helm that are angled down. This whole zone must...
It brings it together, for sure. You've got this rail here for when you're sitting and you really just need to hold on to something. You've got these little winglets on the side that kind of block the wind. And then these double boxes. So there's 4 coolers on each side. So that if you need you have like an emergency, you need an emergency beer, you've got a beer right there, right?
Easy access.
Again, going back to this one very unique HCB positioning is you got showers, hot and cold water, right at the T-top. So you're coming in from swimming in the ocean, you just kind of rinse off. Or you're fishing the dog days of summer, you're hot, you just need to cool down, take a cold shower. There's two of them.
You know, I didn't realize that was something I would want in a yacht. Totally need it. She's not just a dock princess. Let's take this boat.
Yeah, we could talk about it all day, but there's nothing better than experiencing those 600s on the water. So I'm gonna get the crew, I'm gonna get the family, and let's rip it.
Let's go, boat ride! We're cruising down the intercoastal, probably gonna find a nice little sandbar spot to stop at. And in the meantime, look, the crew is handling it for us. It's great because then the owner can spend more time with his kids and make those memories that are so important to him. I'm also making great memories right now.
The 600s, the Mercury 600s were a must-have, completely changes the boat. You know, we went from the Yamaha 350s to the Yamaha 425s to the Mercury 600s. It sounds silly, but to go 40 miles an hour versus 48 miles an hour, massive, massive difference.
So I'm just peeking on the chart here where we're gonna go. There's a little spot right in here, and I can see some of their old track lines. That's where we're gonna go hang out for a bit. We are beached. We can do that because the shape of this hull is designed to be relatively shallow draft, meaning it doesn't take up a lot of room in the water. And then our engines can actually tilt up so we don't have to worry about them getting all banged up on the ground. It's one of the coolest things about a boat this size. Excellent beach spot. I'm super into it, but we need some tunes now.
Dance party?
Dance party. Bow dance party.
Girls, dance party?
Yeah.
I'm into it.
All right, I'm picking the song then.
Picking your own secret island is something that you can only experience if you have your own boat to get there. This is what this boat is about. It's about family, it's about party, it's about sandbars and awesomeness, and I'm trying to get adopted.
You're one of us now.
Yes, absolutely. Honestly, this vows really, all that happens here is dance party.
100%. Usually the table goes down, which is the perfect platform for all the moves.
Yeah, so a lot of times people ask us, like, why a center console? Like, if you're gonna spend this kind of money on a boat, why a center console? If you're a sandbar team, right? Like, the center console piece is super crucial. We have 3 little kids with another one on the way. They just keep like doing laps around the center consoles. My wife and I can just sit in the captain's chairs and enjoy a drink.
She's seaworthy, but she's a party platform.
She's definitely a party platform.
She's a family platform. Can I get a high five for that?
Fish, fun, and family.
Oh, fish, fun, and family. All right, I'm making t-shirts. Hanging out with the girls on the bow and listening to that killer sound system made this day so special. Sandbars are always a blast, but it's time to head back. I love when my hair is this windblown. It was such a good day on the water. Thank you so much for having me. I love, love, love all of the design choices you all have made, and I hope you have tons of fabulous memories on board.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We gotta have you back.
Yes, please.
Yeah?
I got adopted, right?
That's it. That's it.
Bye, girls.
Bye.
See ya. Claudio was not kidding about the girls doing laps around the boat. Center consoles make a lot of sense if you've got some energetic kids. There's something so special about designing your own yacht, especially if you design it in a way that's more like designing your lifestyle and the memories you're gonna make, like this family did. And I'm still completely obsessed with the paint job. It just tastes good. I'm having an absolute blast chatting with the experts at HCB, and I have another one with me.
I'm Cameron O'Connell. I'm the electrical engineering manager here at HCB Yachts, and do a little bit of everything.
I loved the yacht, the offline, so much, and I have a ton of questions about it. First up, the look, the color choices. It seems so classic yacht. What did it take to get those colors?
So the owners of this boat were really going for the classy look. They wanted a boat that when you look at it, you just feel like you need to have a good bottle of scotch on board. You know, the colors are really fun. So it's a classic navy blue, which is one of our standard colors for the hull side. And then they took another one of our standard colors called San Mateo, which is a very classic yacht tan. Instead of doing it on the hull side, they did the entire inside of the boat. Every single part that would normally be a white part, we actually have to go to all the various places in the factory that make sure that they all have color matched batches of that gel coat so that we can produce all those parts to match perfectly and go together, so you have that seamless color transition through the whole boat.
And the sassy red boot stripe is to die for, but you said gel coat. You're telling me this isn't paint?
No, the navy blue hull side and the entire interior of that boat, all that tan, that is gel coat straight out of the mold for each one of those parts.
For those of you that don't understand what gel coat is, it's different than paint. Paint is just put on the outside of a hull. And essentially, if you were to sand that down, eventually you'd get to the fiberglass underneath and there'd probably be some kind of white. The gel coat itself is baked into the actual mold of the boat. So it doesn't matter how deep you go, you still get that great, vibrant color. This is a great example of raw fiberglass here, the core of the hull, and then here you can see the baked in color of the gel coat. So Claudio told me that this is his third HCB yacht, but it's the first one he's gotten to customize. What were his priorities?
So he's an all-around user of his boat. He is a sandbar guy, a family guy, also a big fishing guy. So he was really excited to come in here and, you know, not only look at the colors and the materials and everything like that, which were a huge piece of that boat, but it was also about the functionality of it. So sound system's one of the things he was really, really keen on. You know, he really enjoyed his previous HCBs, which all of our boats have a fantastic sound system, but he wanted to take it up a level. He was looking for this thing to be, I mean, truly a premium experience. So we actually designed a custom system to his specifications, and then we brought the head audio engineer in from the company that manufactures the components to the system and had them actually tune the system to their specifications the same way that a concert hall would be done.
Oh, that's why my dance party was so good.
You can see we've got the main unit that produces the actual audio and then all the amplification that really punches it home and makes it loud and powerful.
One of the coolest things about being in the factory is getting to test some of the systems on the brand new builds. We're gonna do the audio now. Oh, it gave me chills. It seems to me that no detail was left unfinished on this yacht. Talk to me about that upholstery.
So he wanted such a specific stitch pattern on this boat that our in-house capabilities with our machines, despite all the fancy things that we're used to doing on boats, this was too much for us to do in-house. So we actually went to an outside vendor that handles insane high-end cars and custom upholstery for premium houses. And we went to them and had them actually take the swatches of material that we use and do big panels that they then sent back to us for us to make all the seats and cushions out of.
Offline is a great example of absolute perfection. Claudio knew exactly what he wanted, from the seat cushions to the deep navy hull to the sound system and more. This is what delivering the dream means. What am I supposed to, help me out. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what I said.
Whatever the roof is called here.